guys, for today's gratitude, I am going to a dead bird in the road in the village of Harlem, New York. Is this like a mafia video? No, it is not. Actually, it seemed like the perfect place to discuss being an empath. Yes, along with CPTSD, I'm an empath, which is, we're going to cross county lines. It turns out that you take your empathy everywhere. If you're an empath, really, it's hard. It's a different thing. What is the difference, you ask, between empathy? Empathy is probably just noticing what's ahead in the road, what we're talking about there, and missing the dead bird. What it is, empathy is, you see something on the side of the road, it's dead. You have a moment, if you have any empathy, at all whatsoever, it's a baby doe. You're sad. You're sad. Because somebody's baby died on this road. Now that baby might not be a human baby. But it's a baby nonetheless. And actually, I'm going to give you a true story of how I could tell my own son is an empath, not a person who has empathy. I noticed this when Max was around 10-ish, and we came upon a deer. It was lying, dying by the side of the road, and who knew that deer experience pain in such a way they actually make a sound. That is not the sound of a dying deer. So I'm going to get into, and this is too much for somebody to handle. Let me know. It's very heavy duty for me because I go, she didn't have a shot. Likely she was following mommy, and that's where she ended up. And she died. And so I wanted to get into what it means to be an empath. I had never heard the word until actually I was hospitalized after a heart attack. And a good friend who knew my husband and I at the second time we go see him. We were not meant to be together. She had said, look, you're an empath. And I said, what the hell does that mean? And then she basically led me the right out. So, and by the way, why am I dressed in a hat, sunglasses, everything? Because I have some damn empathy. It's hot as this is the hottest day it's been in New York this year. And we're talking like 90. And it's not humid, so you're like, gosh darn, I'm going out for a swim on the lake. I see the deer, and I see a teacher of mother. And that's the main thing also about life, our channels, and these videos on YouTube. We are a community, and we stand together, which makes me have a feeling of belonging. So I do love my YouTube. But let me read to you what, let's walk back over the deer, because Who the hell wants to look at death? Right? Does anybody really want to look at death? I guess it pays well if you're a medical examiner. Particularly like somewhere like, the one I spoke to in Broward County, that mother. There's a lot of people over the age of 70, a lot of money floating around, so they do a lot of autopsies. Oh, that's sad, they're eating your cavity. But I will go over the empath part, and I will say of this to the deer we bring you a superior agate in the shape of a heart from Lake Superior, and we honor you. We honor you, little deer, and we hope that it was a swift, beautiful, long, beautiful, short death. And if this deer wakes up, I'm going to freak out like in one of my haunted videos. I'm going to go down in the shade for this because I'm like, oh my gosh. To read this in the sun, you're like, no, thank you. Whew. Okay. So, for those of you who do not understand the difference, well, there's someone who doesn't understand the difference. If you gotta be in Waterloo and surrogate court, and all you said to your brother for 6 years is, I never want to see your name again, and you cannot respect that boundary, even though I'm an empath, even though I'm kind. I have my limits, folks. I have my limits, people. So, let's get on with, I took a few notes that I've been keeping on these things. Not on dead deer. I didn't know if such a thing would come up. It's actually just coming up in my book, which has to do with all things New York. And as I am in New York, awaiting an accounting, getting Duce Techum something from the bank just to see exactly how much my brother duped me for. Let me explain to you the difference, folks, because if you wonder, like sometimes, of course I would die when my dog was, cry when my dog was fine. But an empath is a person whose body, this is true, my body, if I were watching that deer die, just like Max and I, watching a deer dying on the side of the road, we flagged down the cops. It had broken all 4 of its legs, and it was languishing in pain, and we begged, please, to shoot it, to put the thing out of its misery. The sheriff was said we could not do that thing. She was not authorized. She's great for animal control. So we held that deer together, Max started barking out. And that's when I knew my son was different, and in a very good way. So you feel it in your body. It's an ability that it touches every part of you, not just your brain, not just your the feeling part, but it literally sometimes can make you fall. It's that powerful. And by the way, you're born with it. It's like being a bitch. Many times it can take on obviously physical form. There's an intuitive nature to it. Almost for some people think that you're like psychic. It's just that you can ride out a situation and see how it's going to wind out like ahead of time, which is a little weird, but I'm not psychic either. Let's see. Like if you feel afraid to be alone. I like my own company. But say one of your worst fears is to be alone. Say you watch a scary movie and someone's alone. You feel that feeling for that character. It translates literally onto you. It's not a diagnosis. Amen! Yay! Unlike like CPTSD, OCD, things that I do have, ADHD. Being an empath is not a diagnosis, and in fact, many people revere empaths. They should, god dang it. We have to put through, we have to take a lot to process, like dead deer. So yes, it's not easy. It is not easy at all. I don't know how many people in these roads are empaths, but let me tell you too. I passed that deer and I immediately clay over from Catholicism. We do this thing. And I do it 3 times, whatever. Like that's going to help. It doesn't change a damn thing. But I do feel that for that deer, I take it in. That deer counted. That deer's life mattered to me. And also, it does mirror, it can mirror things that people take as psychiatric diagnosis, as hysterical, whatever. It's not. So if you are an empath, don't let anyone push you around like that. Because probably if you're an empath, you draw narcissists and sociopaths like the flies on that dead deer. That's the problem. Well, actually, I think I wrote a book, Reframe It, right? Reframe things. That is the challenge of being an empath. Empathy is it's a gift, and it should be supported by others. Surely, when people exploit it, in my life they exploit money, my calm is my third calm. If I am calm, they'll exploit that and try to upset you. And they will exploit your empathy, and they will exploit your love. Because empathy and being an empath are different. Empath is an immersive, a very, very, very intense feeling of love for whatever it is. And that's kind of cool. So the thing is, sociopath psychos are attracted to empaths because they give we give them personal validation, and we give them attention. And when we cut them off, they vie for our attention by abusing us more. Oh, isn't that wondrous? Clearly, they have no empathy, and they sure as hell ain't empaths. Let's see. Okay, and the other thing is, we all, empaths, narcissists, sociopaths, there's no way to tell them apart by looking at them. Frankly, it's in how they behave. I am pretty sure there aren't a lot of people concerned about this doe's life enough to pull on up and give it a rock. And I having been a religious studies major in college, I honor all religions. So, this year got like blessed over 3 times for the Catholic and the golemized out for the Jew. By the way, my mother, the anti-Semite, borderline personality, fruit bag, had my DNA thing done. She's 2% Jewish. That makes me 1%. So thank you, lady. I am a Jew. Yes, even Jews can be empaths. So, there, you have it all. Love, kindness, the end of the circle for this little deer. We almost made it to it's in Seneca County, go over one more in Waterloo. But wherever you're going, while you're having your gratitude, make sure you have, well, I'm sure if you're watching this channel, you already have empathy. I can tell you that. If you've ever watched more than one of my videos, you've already gotten it. Managing that is, when I get that all managed, I will let you know. Right now, I would feel sad. Like I obviously loves John Deere tractors. He has 2 of them. So I have empathy for him, and I will not taste his tractors. But I will go back and then I'll take a swim. And there are what people or we could be doing children's tours. Have your strategy and travel with attitude.